I've asked myself the question, who would I be like in this apocalypse many times in different ways the last few years. I've, I've watched a lot of zombie movies, a lot of survivor movies. Of course, The Walking Dead, Z Nation, are series that I've actually watched more than a couple episodes. So I've seen some episodes of different shows. I didn't really make a big impact on me, but there were a lot of movies. So I'm going to mention a few of the movies. Cargo, I watched probably this summer, I think is when I watched it. And I've watched it twice. I watched it once earlier and then later. That didn't make any sense. Of course, I watched earlier. But I didn't know when I saw it. It was based loosely on a 12-minute YouTube video, and I watched it and I was like, the YouTube video didn't say much about the story, but I'm thinking I might be a lot like the main character there. I can't remember his name. It might be a lot like him, where it's just survived somehow. But I also saw him on his own and with his kid. So part of me thinks that'd be how I think part of me thinks that'd be how I would be, he'd been surviving for a while, I guess, with his wife and his baby, and then it was just him and his baby and that girl that he kind of took under his wing. That's right. It was only, of course, the whole show covers like 3 days or something. Because when you're infected, pretty quick. But I wonder if I'd be like that, and maybe a couple of years ago, maybe I would be more like that because I was a family man, but now I'm a loner, and I think I'd probably stay a loner for a while. First few years of watching The Walking Dead, I came to the belief that I'd be like Glenn. Pre Walker Apocalypse, he was a pizza delivery guy. He was working at kind of a dead end runner, lonely job. And then he became I like to joke he married a really hot country girl. That's cool. I really like country girls. But he changed. He became a fighter. He didn't murder any people, I noticed, until the very end. Not long before he died, he had not killed any people. He was a survivor. He killed walkers. He became an integral member of the group, and that's what I would hope that I'd be like. But I don't know. Of course, nobody knows until it happens, because it will happen. If not a zombie, something's going to happen, and humanity is going to be devastated, and civilization is going to change, and it's going to be left. I don't know who I would be. When I think about it right now, when the zombies hit, they won't need people to clean up casinos. You won't need to be a janitor anymore. 5 years ago, I used to think when the zombies happen, they won't need people to use the phones because I worked in a call center. So I need to get marketable skills. I need to know that after this apocalypse, I would be needed. And 5 years ago, I started working out, and I got got in pretty good shape in 3 years. Two. I think it was 2 years I was in it. I don't know, but I got in pretty good shape. I mean, I wasn't buff, but I could run. My endurance was better, and well, that's pretty much gone the wayside. And I don't know if I can get back right now. I could. You can take a guy in his 40s, and if I had somebody to train with, I could get in pretty decent shape again, so that I'd be able to survive more than the first wave when the outbreak happens. Um, but do I have any marketable skills? And I don't know if like Glenn had any skills. He wasn't military. He wasn't security. Wasn't he was a pizza delivery guy. So it was like what the apocalypse brings out of people is what the groups need. The groups needed someone to run, someone to observe, someone to get supplies, and that's what he did for a long time. That's what he was. He was the in and out guy, supply ring guy. I don't know. I couldn't run right now. Right now, I couldn't run, but I could walk. My endurance is high. I can walk long distances. But more and more, I'm thinking I'll be a loner. I'll be like I was thinking in recent months, or for a while, I was thinking like Morgan. Morgan was on his own for like probably 2 years of the Walker Apocalypse, and he became really kind of crazy. It was his whole clear thing, where he had to clear areas, and that might happen to me. Excuse me, my isolationist tendencies might take over, and I might want to just be by myself. And I'm thinking, if I don't have anybody else to worry about protecting, I'd be fine, because I'm okay now. But also in this apocalypse, once you run out of medicine, you're out of medicine. And right now, I've got I'm medicated for depression/anxiety. So I'd have a month and a half left right now. I mean, and after that, I've got to know how to deal with depression. I've got to overcome depression. That's the book I've got right here. Overcoming Depression One Step at a Time. So I'm working on that part of me. And a big part of it is because I want to be able to survive. But I don't want to be all alone, of course, because you need, I believe, the humanity. The people need people just to talk to, just to community with. But if this apocalypse happened tomorrow, it depends on where I am from my job, and I'd want to come back and try to find my parents, my wife and kids. I want to try to find them. I know now. I am pretty sure. This is what I'm pretty sure of. That my sister Melissa and her husband, they live out of town. They live in Claremore, which is kind of rural. And I think they would stand to live longer, actually, than I would in the city. Just given that fact. And I have more faith in Justin than I do in myself in a lot of ways. He is a very strong guy, and I know he would protect and support my sister and nephews. And he might, I don't know, he might try to come in town and find my parents because he's a very sacrificial, giving type guy. And I believe in if we ever get to the point where we're trying to start society again, trying to start, my brother-in-law Daniel is really good mechanically. He's very mechanically inclined. He can think his way through solutions to problems. And my sister Melissa, she knows herbs like crazy. I mean, I studied her horticulturalist, and so I think that will be an important knowledge to have. In if when we live in a land without electricity, without grocery stores, because processed food is going to it's going to go away. We're going to use it up. And the people who survive are the ones who can live off the land. In a lot of ways, she'll be able to do a lot of stuff. And Melissa can. I'm really proud of how I could see her surviving a long time, protecting. I mean, I could see my sisters thriving and doing good. I can't see myself doing much anything right now. So I'm looking into getting some skills, and to do so, like right now, what I looked at is Tulsa Tech. I'm looking at construction classes. I'm looking at foods classes, so that even part time, I'll have knowledge behind me. Maybe the basics of carpentry, of masonry, of electricity, electrical, plumbing. Those kind of things. I need to know the basis. And that knowledge is applicable to living, striving, and that's where I'm going right now. Or where I'm headed. My plan for 2019 is to learn stuff and to do, because continuing education at Tulsa Tech, or I guess any school, continuing education, adult education, has a big element of hands-on. If you actually know stuff and you do stuff. So I'm going to look into gaining that kind of knowledge, because I don't know who I'd be in this apocalypse. And this will help me discover what kind of skills I can take into it. Because once you develop skills, they are part of you. They're your toolbox. You take them with you wherever you go. And I want to have stuff to be able to take with me. I'm working on myself, like I said, overcoming depression, but I'm working on myself, my hands, mental and physical. I want to be ready, because something's going to happen. I'm not going to skip the fundamentals and go straight to full blown prepping, starting to, I don't have a bug out bag. I want to have bug out skill set in my head. I want to be able, And I guess that's what I'm developing. I'm aiming to develop a bug out skill set